Woloszyn here with a look at some big weather coming our way as we move into your Sunday and Monday. First thing to note, we do have a high wind watch in place, and I will say this high wind watch is from 1 a.m. on Monday to 10 p.m. on Monday. We do have gusty winds coming, but even ahead of the gusty winds, we're also looking at rain, warm temperatures, chance for thunderstorms, and then behind it, cold temperatures with the gusty winds, as well as looking at a chance for some snow squalls. So let's get to it here. Big picture of what's going on right now. Well, we don't got much going on at this moment. Everything's developing off to our west-southwest. You can see rain showers through portions of Nebraska, south towards Kansas, also Oklahoma and the Texas panhandles. That's all eventually going to move in our direction and impact our weather starting tonight. Now, initially, it won't be much at all. We're honestly talking about some showers on the way as we get into tonight and then moving into tomorrow morning. So showers, again, light at first. They will be rain showers as temperatures are going to stay mainly above the freezing mark as we head into the overnight hours. And then we get into tomorrow. This is Sunday morning. We are looking at widespread rain showers still across the area, but there's more moisture that will just continue to filter in. So the rain will increase, especially Sunday afternoon. That's likely when we'll have our heaviest rain across the area, with some places also potentially looking at heavy downpours that could lead to minor flooding also around this time. And then towards the evening, we have not only more rain expected, but the chance for even some thunderstorms as well to move on through. Of course, that means lightning, that means rumbles of thunder, and potentially even heavier rain as all of this moves through. Eventually, the rain is going to stop around about 11 o'clock or midnight Sunday night. We'll fall into the dry slot of this storm, which means we have hours of dry weather, but the winds are going to start to pick up during this time, and the winds are going to eventually pull in colder air, and we'll start to see some wraparound moisture around this storm, which will lead to some snow showers on Monday. This is a look at about mid-morning on Monday, 11 o'clock. Snow will be wrapping around. We'll keep the snow showers throughout the day. The good news is we're not expecting a lot of snow. The bad news is, though, we are expecting snow with very strong winds. So even if it's not going to be a lot, we are looking at reduced visibility, slippery conditions being some big concerns, and also potentially some whiteout conditions if we do have what are called snow squalls develop on Monday, which is a definite possibility as this system rolls through the area. So again, we have a lot going on with this system. Keep your questions coming throughout this. I will hopefully be able to answer it for you, but just kind of an overview again and what you can expect. First, we're just going to start off with rain showers tonight. You really don't need to be too concerned about what's going on tonight. It's just going to be lighter rain showers coming in. They'll be increasing by the time we get into your Sunday morning. Not worried about too heavy of rain at this point. Also not worried about anything other than rain showers overnight tonight. We fast forward into Sunday. Well, the rain picks up in intensity, especially in the afternoon and evening. This is also when we'll likely have a few thunderstorms embedded, leading to heavier rainfall and, of course, lightning. So keep that in mind if you're hoping to go outside and try to take advantage of the slightly warmer temperatures. And then Sunday night, rain ends, winds increase, and temperatures are going to plummet. We are going to go from the 50s on Sunday to temperatures in the 20s by Monday. So big changes coming our way. And then Monday, yes, it's going to be colder. We'll also have wind gusts you can see here, potentially up to 60 miles per hour. And then also a chance for some snow squalls, which again, I just touched on those. Those are intense bands of snow. Think of it as a line of severe thunderstorms. It's an intense band that moves through quickly, but it does bring some strong winds and heavy amounts of precipitation in a short amount of time. So in this case, it would be snow, and that could lead to whiteout conditions. So keeping an eye on that. We are concerned a little bit on flooding when it comes to rainfall. So I want to break this down now, kind of how this event goes through. Sunday, we're looking at rainfall. Widespread rain, likely about an inch of rain in many spots. It will be lighter north than south, but still looking at widespread rain. And a few places could pick up nearly 2 inches of rain, and unfortunately, we could see some flooding. I don't expect widespread flooding, but we could still see some minor flooding with the quick amount of rain that will be falling. Again, a good chunk of us looking at about an inch of rain on Sunday, and then some places getting close to 2 inches of some rain. Now, the rain ends before midnight Sunday, and then the winds start to pick up. That's why we have a high wind watch in place. And again, this is from Monday, and I am going to change this because this is going to drive me nuts, and you'll see it right here. It is from Monday, 1 a.m. to 10 p.m. It is totally my fault. note that that does not say that, but it's from 1 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can see, actually, I don't even know if you're able to see exactly what I'm doing, but let me put this and change this just so there is no confusion on what we are looking at. Okay, here it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. With the correct time here. Okay, we do have a high wind watch from 1 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Monday. Now, most winds will be out of the west, 25 to 35 miles per hour, which are strong nonetheless, but then we could have some gusts near 60 miles per hour. This high wind watch will potentially become a high wind warning with wind gusts near 60 miles per hour. If it doesn't become a warning, it's going to become a wind advisory, and that's just because the winds will be potentially slightly lighter, more so 45 to 50 miles per hour. If it's in that range, it would be a wind advisory. So that's the difference between the two, or actually all three. The reason we have a high wind watch right now is just the timing. This isn't going into effect until 1 a.m. on Monday, so still more than 24 hours away. So again, this will be updated. All right, let's take a look at what we've got going on in looks of wind gusts on Monday. Now, winds will be starting to pick up Sunday night. Technically, this is Monday morning. This is a look at about 1 o'clock. That's when we start to get wind gusts near 40 miles per hour, but our strongest winds will be during the daytime on Monday with gusts at least 50 miles per hour. So please kind of prepare. Hopefully you have everything put away already, because we are in the winter months. You really shouldn't have much patio furniture out because it's obviously been bitterly cold as well. But if you did take it out, be prepared for that to be blown away if it is not kind of tackled down just a bit or somewhere secure where it's not impacted by the wind. So again, windy conditions on Monday, and then we'll also have a chance for some snow and snow squalls on Monday. And this is what we're looking at in potential for snowfall. Thankfully, it's not looking to be a lot, at least for us here on this side of the state. If you are going to the west side of the state or up north for New Year's, you will be running into more snow in that direction. Actually, locations on the west side of the state and even north are looking at anywhere from about 4 to maybe even up to 7, 8 inches of snow with this storm system. So they're going to see a lot more snow on the west side of the state. For us, it's going to be about a widespread 1/2 inch to 1 inch, with some places close to 2 inches. And it's really going to be varying because of the wind. Think about it. If the snow falls and you have a wind gust of 60 miles per hour, well, there goes a lot of the snow. So it's going to vary quite a bit. But like I've been saying with many times this year, we've had snow that's been just a little bit of snow, but it does not take much to create some slippery driving conditions. So that's going to be one of the concerns, slippery driving conditions, and then reduced visibility because of the strong winds with the snow as it falls. I'm going to take a closer look again. Before I take a look at some questions, I want to time out Futurecast here. This is starting tonight. Again, we will have rain showers pushing in tonight. They will be on the lighter side initially, but they'll be here by tomorrow morning. We'll have widespread rain throughout Sunday morning, so if you're going anywhere, be prepared for rain showers, maybe even some heavier ones. But we really see more of the moisture come in towards the afternoon. This is a look at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Widespread rain, heavy rain, especially south of I-69. We'll continue to see the rain roll on through. Chance for some thunderstorms as well, starting mainly late afternoon, but more so into the evening. We have the warm front lifting through. The warm front doesn't make it necessarily all the way through our area, so that's why we're kind of stuck along the heaviest band of it. And then once the warm front moves, then we have the cold front come through in the evening. That has a chance again for a few more, not only rain showers, but maybe some thunderstorms along it. And then eventually that moves off to the east. We fall in the dry slot behind the cold front, and then the winds pick up overnight on Sunday, which you're seeing here. Okay, can't see the winds, but you can see we're in the dry slot. There really wasn't much going on precipitation-wise overnight, but then the snow picks up, and we'll see that increase in intensity throughout the day on Monday. Looking at a potential for snow squalls starting even in the early morning on Monday. So if you do have to work for the morning commute, be prepared for that potentially. If you're planning on traveling up north, again, I would advise maybe wait until you get into Tuesday, just because the winds will be lighter and there won't be as much blowing snow. That's a big concern with the snow on Monday. But again, looking at that rolling on through. But thankfully things start to taper down. The snow tapers down quite a bit as we get into Monday evening. So I know I just said a lot right there. Let's see what questions you guys have. Looks like we have quite a few people joining. Yeah, Sean, welcome to Michigan. It is winter time. Yes, yeah, it's very winter time. This is very typical of Michigan winter too. We go from one thing and then something completely different the next day. I mean, there will be a striking difference between what we see tomorrow and what we see on Monday. Also, striking difference from what we have seen today to what we're going to see tomorrow, too. So we're just all over the place as the storm rolls on through. All right, let's see. Let's see. Jerry saying, unfortunately, they lost some branches because of the ice. Yeah, we did have, of course, the ice with the system yesterday. Thankfully, we are going to be warming up tonight, tomorrow. So if you haven't had your ice melt yet, we will actually have that ice melt before the rain begins. So that should help increase chances of melting and less chances of branches breaking. However, of course, when you're talking wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour, well, that could also lead to down trees and down power lines. So be prepared for potential power outages as we get into Monday. Hopefully they're not widespread, but honestly with this forecast, there's a good chance we'll at least get a couple of power outages just because of the strong wind gusts expected Sunday night into Monday. Let's see. I'm just over here reading. Marsha asking about an early morning commute, 5:30. Honestly, on Monday, 5:30 a.m., you might be able to get to work before the snow returns or the colder air comes in with the snow. You'll probably notice the winds. That's what you're really going to notice. Even if you're just in a car driving on the highway, you're going to notice the push of the winds. We're looking at sustained winds 25 to 35 miles per hour and then gusts potentially up to 60 miles per hour. So you're going to feel that on the roadways no matter what you are driving. So that's what I would be concerned about for the early morning commute on Monday. But in terms of icy, snowy conditions, you actually should be okay out there. Temperatures at that point too should not be below freezing just yet. So despite having all the rain on Sunday, we shouldn't see much freezing going on just yet at that point. Let's see. Hopefully that answered your question. So if you're just joining, what I'm going through right now is the active weather. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, sorry. I'm going to go through the active weather that we have coming up on Sunday and Monday. And you might be thinking, oh, we didn't hear anything about this or whatever. Well, here is your chance to kind of hear what is to come. We do have a big storm system that is going to impact our weather. And we're going to see a lot of different things, honestly, within 48 hours. Sunday is going to look a lot different than today. Monday is going to look a lot different than Sunday, as well as also today. Today has been a very gray day. Temperatures have been near average. Sunday is when we start to see a big surge of warmth and a big surge of moisture too. So we're looking at temperatures climbing into the low 50s now. I even went higher than 50 degrees. I have our high on Sunday about 53 in the city of Detroit. If you live north though, up towards Lapeer, Port Sanilac, Port Huron, temperatures are still mainly going to be in the low to mid 40s. I don't expect the warm air to push that far north, but pretty much everyone south of I-69 or more so even I-96 will be in the 50s, maybe we may see some 60s. Anyways, though, it's not going to be the really warm temperatures and sunny. It is going to be warm and rainy and looking at a chance for some thunderstorms too. So rain is going to move in tonight, really pick up as we get into your Sunday morning, and then really pick up Sunday afternoon. I expect the heaviest rain to be Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. You can see the big push of moisture here. This is a look at about 4 o'clock on Sunday. When you get the yellows and the oranges and the reds, that's indicating heavier rainfall, which we are going to see Sunday afternoon and evening. This is part of a warm front. That's why our temperatures are warming up too. The warm front kind of stalls across our area, and that's also why we're looking at heavy amounts of rain, because it stalls pushing north, so all the moisture just continues to ride right along it, and that's why we're looking at heavier amounts of rain. Now eventually, as the storm system continues to move, the front starts to move away from us. We have a cold front that'll come through Sunday night. Thankfully, I think we're on the northern side of this front, that our chance for severe storms is pretty much zero, but just off to our south in the Ohio River Valley, even Indiana and Ohio, they have the potential to actually see some severe weather, and we may see a tornado or two down there. Not for us here in Southeast Michigan, but we will see heavy rain again and a chance for some thunderstorms as the cold front comes through Sunday night before midnight. Then once we get past midnight, we fall into the dry slot of the storm. So it means that we don't have any moisture in place, so we'll look at dry conditions through most of Monday morning, but during this time is when the winds start to pick up. And when I'm saying Monday morning, I'm really talking about those early morning hours between midnight and about 6 a.m. Monday, I don't expect any additional rainfall or snowfall, but the winds are going to start to ramp up. Eventually, snow does return. We have wraparound moisture. We'll see the snow pick up in the morning hours around about 9 o'clock or so, and we will be looking at snow showers on and off throughout the day on Monday. Now, there is the potential for snow squalls, and I did just mention this before. So a snow squall is a narrow, intense band of snow that could lead to whiteout conditions. The best way to kind of think about it is like a line of severe thunderstorms. It's pretty narrow and it moves through very fast. It creates a lot of problems for a short amount of time. Severe thunderstorms, those lines create damaging wind gusts, heavy amounts of rain. For us, we are looking at potentially damaging wind gusts and also a quick heavy burst of snow as it moves on through. So with that in mind, travel around the area on Monday will be a concern with the potential for those snow squalls that could lead to some whiteout conditions. So timing it out again, showers begin tonight with this system. I'm not worried about anything tonight. As we get into Sunday, my biggest worry would be potentially some minor flooding because of some of the heavy rain expected Sunday afternoon and into Sunday evening. We will have a few rumbles of thunder, some flashes of lightning. Of course, lightning is dangerous, but hopefully you're not out and about throughout your day on Sunday. Then as we get into Sunday night, my biggest concern will be damaging wind gusts, potential power outages because of wind gusts near 60 miles per hour. So that could lead to down trees and down power lines. And then on Monday, my biggest concern, still the chance for power outages, as well as those snow squalls that could cause some whiteout conditions and travel immediately treacherous out there. So keep that in mind. My best advice, maybe have some indoor plans the next 2 days if you can, just to avoid some of this. Again, we talked about rainfall. Honestly, everything is a potential problem with this system. We're getting too much rain likely in pockets with the storm on Sunday, and that will lead to some minor flooding. I do expect a widespread about inch of rain, with some places even picking up close to 2 inches of rain on Sunday. Also, the winds are going to be too strong with this system as well. We just touched on it. Gusts near 60 miles per hour easily can lead to down trees and even down power lines. So that is going to be a concern Sunday night into Monday, through that period, 1 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Monday. So that is a problem. And then also looking at snow, thankfully the biggest concern, and I know I say thankfully, biggest concern with the snow is the winds and the snow leading to whiteout conditions and the snow squall. Overall snowfall totals for us will not really be anything to worry about. Most of us are picking up less than an inch of snow. Only a few places will pick up 2 inches of snow, but it doesn't take much to create some slippery conditions. So this is a look at your snowfall potential on Monday. It will not be a lot of snow. Off to the west, off to the north, yes, they're looking at more inches of snow, 4 to 8 inches of snow, which is good for, of course, the ski resorts up there, but poor if you are traveling up there for New Year's. If you can hold off until Tuesday, I would do that instead. And then if you're traveling New Year's Eve, it will also be better. We'll have a little bit of snow, but it will not be anything like what we'll look at as we get into tomorrow night and Monday. Sorry, I'm getting my days confused where we're at. Anyways, okay, let's see. I'm gonna just check over here. I'm looking over here. This is where I can see all your guys' comments. So please have them come in, ask me anything you want to know. Let's see. Okay. Well, any questions that you guys have, again, we'll be here continuing to keep you updated on this system. But if you're just joining, we've got, of course, quiet conditions now. It's been a very gray day across Michigan. We all know what it's like. Temperatures peaked in the 30s. That was about it. I had a couple flurries today, but we have bigger systems coming our way Sunday into Monday that'll impact our weather and what we can do. Let's see. Show when the snow starts again. Ooh, okay. I like that. I'm going to do a closer view. I showed you a big picture of the storm coming through. This is a look at, of course, our area here in Southeast Michigan. First rain comes in. This will be already starting in the early morning hours, mainly after about 3 o'clock in the morning. We'll have rain showers across the area. They just continue to increase, especially tomorrow afternoon. That's when we'll have the heaviest rain, and into the evening as well. This is still the warm front pushing through, a lot of moisture with it as well. So a lot of rain expected on Sunday afternoon and evening. evening. Then comes the cold front Sunday evening into early Sunday night. This will push through by about midnight. And then once the cold front comes through, we get into the dry slot, which means we'll have hours of dry weather between about midnight and about 6 a.m. or so. Eventually, we'll see the snow return. Snow showers for us, mainly here in southeast Michigan, could return as soon as about 6 o'clock in the morning. However, they may hold off a little bit longer, not by much. We're still talking morning hours, but it could be closer to 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So you're looking at here even by 11 o'clock in the morning. Snow will be moving in from the northwest. It'll push through. We'll have bands of snow. This is very common with lake effect snow, which this will be. It's more so, I should say, at this point, lake enhanced snow, because we're still seeing the influence from the storm system, and then the lakes are just enhancing the amount of moisture. So we're getting some of those steadier bands of some snow with the strong winds. So looking at the snow, especially between about 9 a.m. and then if you saw there, I'm actually going to backtrack just a bit. This is a look at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll look at the best chance for snow throughout the morning on Monday, with still more snow showers continuing through the afternoon, but they do start to wind down by about 4 or 5 o'clock, and then we do get back to calmer conditions after that. So hopefully that kind of helps you out, and that's just for us here in southeast Michigan. There will be more snow still happening off to the west and northwest of us. That's why the totals are even going to be higher on the west side of the state as well as the northern part of the lower peninsula on Monday. So hopefully that helps you out. Someone's saying rain should melt the ice off. Yes, not only that, but actually, well, sometimes it can rain on the ice, and then that just adds another layer of ice. But our temperatures are going to be warmer. I mean, tonight our lows are going to be close to freezing. I have us stopping at 33 degrees tonight. There will be a couple pockets that hit the freezing mark, but we're going to see our temperatures near freezing around midnight tonight. And actually, our temperatures gradually warm tonight. So we'll get above the freezing mark. That will also help the ice melt off before the rain moves in, and we'll get more and more rain. So warmer temperatures tomorrow. A lot of us again climbing into the 50s as we get into the afternoon tomorrow, which will help melt some of the ice that's out there. Now we are looking at a chance for some colder temperatures. I want to take a look at this. Colder temperatures north, because we have a warm front lifting through, and that warm front's going to stall. So you can actually see it here. Take a look at that big, dividing line there. Colder north, but still above freezing. Still into the 40s. Port Sanilac, Lapeer, Port Huron, Pontiac, Mount Clemens. And then where we do really see more influence from the warm front, we're into the 50s, and you can see even this model trying to show 61 in Adrian. There's a possibility. I think most of us will be in the 50s, though, for tomorrow, despite having widespread rain across the area and a lot of clouds. But that's what you get with warm air advection or warm air moving in right behind a warm front. So that's what we're looking at for, oh my gosh, what day? Tomorrow. Oh, if I could get Sunday and Monday straight in my mind. But yeah, so we've got something going on. Let's see. We have to travel to Grand Rapids tomorrow. What would be the best time to leave Metro Detroit? John, if you're going to Grand Rapids, I would go tomorrow morning so that the rain is not as intense. Thankfully, tomorrow in Grand Rapids, you're not worried about snow until late at night. We're talking mainly after about 8 o'clock there. But if they're also going to see rain. So if you can leave a little earlier, you'll be better off if you're traveling in that direction. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people worried about power outages. Yes. Yeah, power outages definitely not something fun to talk about. That's why I really hate to forecast freezing rain or sleet, because there's really nothing that great about it. It only causes problems with power outages. Thankfully, we didn't have too many on Friday with that storm that came through. This time, again, though, we could easily see more power outages because of damaging winds expected across the area. I'm going to restart again if you are just joining here to kind of take a look at what we're looking at. We do have a big storm system that's brewing in the central part of the country. Yes, it doesn't look like much right now, but it will develop and it will be moving in as we get into your Sunday morning. Now, we'll see a few showers starting tonight, mainly after 3 o'clock. You can see the storm kind of still coming together, and then we'll have rain showers Sunday, and then the rain really picks up Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. We will have heavy rain at times, also the chance for some embedded thunderstorms too along this line. This again is the warm front. It stretches just like this. It's going to stall stall its northern progression. So we'll have warm temperatures here. That's also why this precipitation is heaviest right here. It kind of stalls right along the warm front in the afternoon and evening. Then as we continue on, here comes the cold front. There is the chance for some strong storms that could produce severe weather into Indiana and Ohio. For us, I think we're far enough to the north that we don't have that chance, but we will be looking at this right here. This is the whole cold front. We're on the northern side of it, kind of near the what's called the triple point. We have a chance for some rain and some thunderstorms as this cold front comes through for the final bit on Sunday. Then we fall into the dry slot of the system, which means we'll have hours of dry weather, likely from midnight to at least 6 a.m. on Monday, but the winds are going to start to pick up during this time. Wind gusts will already be near 40 to 50 miles per hour overnight during this time. And then eventually the snow starts to pick up. Again, we got wraparound moisture around this system, and then when you get the banding like that, that's indicating either lake effect or in this case also some lake enhancement. So we're going to see that, and that moisture is going to make its way all the way across the state and bring us some snow showers. Now, we're not expecting a lot of snow here in southeast Michigan. Our snowfall totals will be around about an inch with just a couple of spots up to 2 inches. The problem is though, when you're still looking at winds that are strong and then the lighter snow falling, well, you could lead to reduced visibility, nearly whiteout conditions, especially if we get some snow squalls, which is a small band of intense snow too, which is a possibility on Monday. So please, if you are traveling at all on Monday, whether you're going somewhere for New Year's, if you can hold off until Tuesday, conditions will be much better. If you're hoping to go to a store to do a return, do some shopping, just be very cautious out and about if you can, just because of reduced visibility. I mean, I have witnessed multiple snow squalls when I worked in Milwaukee. It wasn't through the city of Milwaukee, but I mean, the visibility literally goes to zero, like just like that. So that is the potential for it as that band rolls on through. And we had multiple car pile-ups over there. So that is a potential that we could see on Monday. Again, if anyone's out and about and we do get those snow squalls develop. All right, let's see. Tracy wants a blizzard. I do not want a blizzard. There's nothing good about that. You need 3 hours of winds sustained at 35 miles per hour with consistent snow. We're not going to see that, thankfully. Blizzards are just no fun. Those are another ones that are no fun. Freezing rain, no fun. Blizzards, no fun. All right, breaking things down timeline-wise, again, showers are going to be starting tonight. We will be looking at nothing to worry about tonight. Just the rain increasing. We also should start to see any ice that you have remaining start to melt. Sunday, I'd be more concerned with the heavy rain and potential some minor flooding with the rainfall. Have a look at the totals, but we're looking at quite a few of us picking up about an inch of rain only on Sunday specifically. Chance for a few thunderstorms. They shouldn't be severe for us here in southeast Michigan. There's a threat south of us for that. Sunday night, my biggest concern, winds. We'll have wind gusts at least up to about 40 miles per hour, potentially up to 60 miles per hour. Monday, my big concerns will be again the winds again, and then also snow squalls, so reduced visibility, whiteout conditions if we do get those narrow bands of heavy snow. All right, let's talk about totals because we are looking at quite a bit of rain across the area. Our ground's pretty frozen still, despite having the slightly warmer conditions over the last 2 weeks. So that would mean that a lot of the ground will struggle to kind of absorb the rain. It will absorb some of it, but just be prepared for potentially more runoff going on. That could lead to some more minor flooding across the area. But still, when you get the rainfall totals like this in a day, in this case, it would honestly be, I'm just doing my math real quick about timing wise, within about 15 hours, that could easily lead to some minor flooding. So about an inch of rain expected at least, with some places getting up close to 2 inches of some rain. So minor flooding could be a problem as we get towards the end of the day tomorrow. Our heaviest rain is going to be tomorrow afternoon and evening, so that will all accumulate. Winds, we have a high wind watch in place. This will either become a high wind warning or a wind advisory based on the latest outlook for winds with gusts near 60 miles per hour. This should become a warning. However, if the storm looks to be weakening a bit and wind gusts are only near 50 miles per hour at best, this will become a wind advisory. So that is not my call. That's National Weather Service, and they will update this at some point tomorrow. And the reason it's a watch now is just because timing. This doesn't go into place until 1 a.m. on Monday. So as we get closer to the event, that's when this either becomes an advisory or it becomes a warning. A quick look at wind gusts. Like I mentioned, we'll fall into the dry slot, or we'll have hours without any precipitation Sunday night. So between about midnight and 6 a.m., likely to be dry, but that's also when our winds start to really pick up. Wind gusts are near about 40 miles per hour, and then they get even stronger throughout the day on Monday. Gusts will be near about 50 to 60 miles per hour. So strong winds expected, could lead to some whiteout conditions. Thankfully, our snow amounts will not be a lot, but we have seen it time and time again. It does not take much to create a lot of poor travel conditions around the area. I can't tell you how many times I have seen only just a half an inch of snow cause so many people to just slide out off the road, into the ditch. So there is the potential for that. There's also the potential for whiteout conditions, even though the snowfall is not expected to be that much. So be prepared for that for your Monday. So hopefully that's kind of answering some of your questions. If you're just joining again, ask me questions, what you've got for I don't know, what you want to know about the weather for Sunday and Monday. We just have a big storm coming through, and I'm here to provide as much information as I can, because I want to help you as well. You know, I'm thinking the same thing. I've got a family of my own. I've got to work tomorrow. What am I going to do? Will I be fine? I probably personally be fine based on the hours that I drive. If you're driving, if you're hoping to go somewhere on a vacation, going up north, going to see a friend tomorrow, something like that, Monday, going back to work, something like that, please ask your questions if you are concerned. The best way to kind of deal with what could be kind of a daunting storm is to just get all the information so you're able to plan and prepare for the storm system. That's what I always like to say. All right. If you have any questions, please let me know. Just looking down here again, I'm just looking at, this is where I can see the questions if you guys have any. Yeah, I think the biggest concern is power outages, which unfortunately is a definite possibility with the system coming through, just with the gusts near 60 miles an hour. Yeah, that could easily lead to down trees and down power lines. So please be prepared to potentially lose power on Monday. The other thing to note is if you do lose power on Monday, we are trending colder next week. So after we get through this storm Sunday, Monday, next week into the new year, highs are going to be in the 20s and lows will likely be into the teens, mainly starting Wednesday night. So please have ways to stay warm if you can. And then also, you know, check in on your friends, check on your neighbors, check on your family, and make sure that they are okay too, especially if they lose power or something like that, just to make sure that they're okay in situations like this. Lauren saying you work at 7 a.m. in Ypsi. Wait. Sorry, you live in Ypsi, you work in Ann Arbor. Yeah, I would say your drive-in should be fine for the 7 a.m. The 7:30 p.m., honestly, you might miss the worst of the system. Like, you might be in Ann Arbor when it's all going on. When the snow comes through, the snow picks up. But by the time you leave at 7:30, the steadiest snow should be done. It's still going to be windy, but winds should start to let up too. So you might be okay. I think what you're going to notice the most are the winds, even in the morning, even if you don't have any snow, but you'll feel the wind on your car. Thankfully, you don't have to drive too far. Ypsi to Ann Arbor, not that far. So I think you'll be okay for that. I'm not too worried about your commute. So hopefully that brings a little bit of a wave of calm. Always still stay posted just in case it changes, but as of right now, you should be okay. All right, any other questions anyone has about this storm as it moves on through? You can keep them coming. I'm going to put this full screen just a bit, and I will play through what is going on. Again, ask your questions. We're going to take a closer look this time at the system as it rolls on through and what you can expect. First, looking at some lighter showers arriving tonight, mainly after about 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not worried about the stuff coming in tonight. We'll be just fine. Rain showers coming through. We'll also see ice melting at this time. Temperatures, once the rain begins, at least for us here in Southeast Michigan, will be a couple degrees above freezing. Will likely be around about 35 or so around a majority of the region. So again, mainly looking at rain, and then the rain really picks up as we get into Sunday afternoon. You can see more yellows, oranges, and reds here, indicating some heavier rain pushing across the area. This is along a warm front. There's a lot of moisture with it. There's a lot of warmth with it as well. So we'll see some of our warmest temperatures, especially I-94 and south, where we'll mainly be in the mid 50s for tomorrow. It gets cooler the farther north that you go. All right, once the warm front moves off to the east, the cold front follows. This will bring us a chance for more rain and potentially some thunderstorms as we get into Sunday night. This is mainly between about 8 p.m. and midnight. And then after midnight, that's when we begin to dry out and we fall into the dry slot between about midnight and 6 a.m. So no rain, no snow. However, we'll have our winds start to pick up during this time. Then eventually snow showers comes through. These are going to unfortunately be snow showers that could have snow squalls, which means narrow, intense bands of snow that could cause whiteout conditions. I do not expect widespread heavy amounts of snow, but visibility being reduced is going to be one of the biggest problems. Whiteout conditions with the strong winds and the snow, and then just the light amount of snow can create some slippery driving conditions. We'll also have our temperatures dropping throughout the day on Monday. We're going to go from a high of 53 on Sunday to temperatures Monday afternoon probably in the mid 20s. So you're dropping about 25 to almost 30 degrees, honestly, within about 24 hours. So it's a very quick drop in temperatures. Snow does start to let up as we get into Monday evening, mainly after about 5 o'clock. So your commute home on Monday should be better. You're just still going to notice the winds no matter what type of car you drive, truck, or whatever. Also, be cautious though of truck drivers during this time. Obviously trucks are much higher profile. They are higher, meaning that of course the winds can catch them more, push them more. So allow trucks to have some space during these times with the wind gusts up to about 60 miles an hour on Monday. Let's see. I'm reading a request and I would agree with your request, Rebecca. I know it's tough. It's tough when you've got a lot of power lines. She's mentioning about power lines and wish there could be some preventative work. I know DTE does come out and cut down tree limbs, but they have such a big system that it is really hard to cut down every tree around or tree limb around the power lines, as trees of course grow every year too. So yeah, it can be very tough. My only advice is, honestly, you're just going to have to prep for the potential for power outages and lines being snapped if a tree limb falls on them or if just the winds kind of course, cause those problems. But yes. So I'm going to leave this video up. I'm going to step off here. I will be on tonight on Channel 7 at 11, also on TV 20 at 10. Brett Cass is going to be in the morning, and then I will continue to follow up on all of this getting into tomorrow night. I am on tomorrow during, I think we've got the 6 o'clock show, 7 o'clock show. I'll give you updates there. I'll also probably hop back on here on live and stream kind of what we're going through. We'll have the heavy rain still at the time, some thunderstorms likely during the time tomorrow, and then we'll be tracking and looking ahead towards the winds that'll pick up tomorrow night, as well as the snow potential throughout the day on Monday. So hopefully I at least helped get you some information. That's the best that I can do because that's the best way that you are going to be prepared for this system. We know we can have all sorts of crazy weather here in Michigan, so we're seeing that obviously in the next 48 hours. Be prepared. Again, warmth tomorrow, rain tomorrow, minor flooding possible, and thunderstorms. And then we get into Monday, it's going to be windy, colder, potential for snow squalls. So a big difference between Sunday and Monday. All right, I'm going to leave this out there. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the quiet weather before the storm. And of course, always stay posted. I'll continue to keep you updated on